Hello and welcome to Huddersfield Town's preview show in association with Sportsbroker ahead of our game at Blackburn Rovers. To help us look ahead to the action, I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Town's centre-back Naby Sarr and Stuart Rayner from the Yorkshire Post. How are you both? You okay?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good, thank you.
Excellent. Naby, we have to start. As soon as you mention Blackburn Rovers around the club and the training ground, it's Naby Zlatan is brought up.
Yeah, that was a really great night for me with the brace and the victory of the team. So yeah, I really enjoyed that night.
You've always said, haven't you, that you're a bit of a striker?
Yeah, just a little bit. I can do some finishing, but yeah, that's not my first job.
You can see that, can't you? Can't you, Stuart? Especially from that game, Blackburn. Naby, two great finishes.
Well, yeah, and you can see what his first job was as well, with his goal line clearances in midweek as well. So doing the business at both ends. Good to see.
It is a big game, this one, isn't it, Stu? Like Carlos said in his press conference, we want to hit that 50 mark this weekend. Another step towards survival in the Sky Bet Championship.
Yeah, I think as a Championship football club, I think you're always a lot more comfortable, aren't you, once you hit that 50-point mark. We know this is a strange season, and I suspect Town have probably got enough points to stay up as it is. But you just want to be sure as a player, as a fan, as a manager, whatever. And there's an added target beyond that, really, in that Huddersfield got 51 points last season. So to get beyond that would be a nice sign of progress as well.
Yeah, that must be the feeling in the dressing room as well, Naby. You've been in these kind of relegation fights for survival before. You obviously went down with Charlton last year, but for you this year personally, to help keep Huddersfield Town in the league would be a big achievement.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a big challenge for me. As you said, last year I didn't achieve my target with Charlton to stay up. So that's the challenge I had this year with Huddersfield. And I think we have all the capabilities and all the players to secure the spot in Championship. It's going to be a big game, of course. Both teams going to play for the 3 points, but I think the 3 points are much more important for us than for them. So I think everyone is going to be really focused and really at it, and of course give 1,000% for the 3 points.
Yeah, and something else, obviously, that kind of changes your preparation for games in this moment in time, Naby, is Ramadan. Just talk us through what that is like as a professional footballer, not being able to drink, to eat until the sun sets.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's not the first year I do it. So I've been doing it a lot of years. Your body adapts after 1 week, I think. So you feel much better after 1 week, and then it's everything in the mind. When you're on the pitch, you just think about performing good, even if you didn't have anything to drink or to eat. As long as you're in the pitch, you're just thinking about the game. So yes, it's something special. It's something really important for us, Muslim community. But I think we can do both. We can do well on the pitch while performing for our religion.
What does the club do to help support you with that? Because I know in some of the academy games, Brahima Diarra, for example, against Manchester City the other night, the referee kind of had a break in play. I think it was 8:20, so he could have a drink and eat. Obviously, in the Championship, you can't do that. So what have the club been doing to kind of support you?
Yeah, the club has been helping me the best way possible, especially with the nutritionist. With Nessan, I had a really good chat about him, about what I should eat, what I should drink, because spending a whole day, training and not drinking, not eating, is important to have the right food and the right drinks when you break the fast. So yeah, this is the way the club has helped me, and it's really helpful, to be honest, because knowing that someone has been, getting information about this and know exactly what's best for us, and it's really good and really helpful for me.
It's something you don't really kind of consider, is it, Stu? I mean, players like Naby fasting at this moment in time. There's so much focus, isn't there, on nutrition for players, eating the right things, taking in lots of fluid, especially the hot day like it we've had, the hot weather like we've had in Yorkshire. You don't really consider what players must be going through at this moment in time, those that are fasting.
Yeah, I think it's something probably we as non-Muslims are probably guilty of just not considering. I wonder if Naby thinks there's anything more the game should do to sort of try and help with that, because obviously, it's really important as a game that we welcome everyone, and particularly, do all we can to help Muslim players. We don't want them to feel, as though we're not considering what's an important time for them. So I wonder, Naby, is there anything we should do with regards to kickoff times or any other changes that would help?
Actually, no. I think we just have to adapt. I know that maybe in Muslim countries, they adapt the time because maybe 90% of the population is Muslim, so it's during Ramadan. So it's much different there. They train the night just before breakfast, or maybe they have the games, after breaking fast. But it's not the same. We in England, so we have to adapt in this situation because it's not like 90% of the people here are Muslim. So we just have to adapt, and I think the club is doing really good to help me in this situation, and I cannot ask for more.
I'm really interested to know what it was like, the kind of first time you were playing football regularly and fasted at the same time, what that was like on the body.
Yeah, that was, a bit hard because training and a game is not the same, The effort you put in a game are much more violent, so it's different. But like you said, when you get used to it, it becomes easier and easier each year.
Yeah, and obviously we play Blackburn, a side, Stu, that have had difficult fortunes, very similar to Huddersfield Town. I think they've only won twice since February.
Yeah, but they're a side in a position at the moment where, I think they can take for granted that they'll be in next season's championship. So that must be a difficult situation to be in some regards. I guess it gives a bit of freedom to the players. But as Naby said, you'd be very, very surprised if Huddersfield didn't want it more on Saturday. The motivation is all there with the Terriers, really, and yeah, a bit of an odd one for Blackburn's players to get up for, because there was a period where you worried that both sides actually might get dragged into a bit of a relegation battle by stealth. But to say, it looks as though Blackburn have done enough, and hopefully we'll be saying the same about Huddersfield very soon.
Yeah, they are just 3 points ahead of us in the table, Naby. What do you expect from them and the fight that they might bring to us?
Yeah, of course. Like you said, they just won 2 games, in 22 games or so, 21 games, something like that. So, of course, it's going to be a challenging game because I think they want to turn this to get, some victory before the end of the season. Especially it's a home game for them. So yeah, I think they're going to put everything they have to, to get the victory and finish on a good note this season. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be a really good game to play, and a really hard battle against a good team. But like I said earlier, I think the motivation is much more high. Is higher in our side than in their side, I think.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of attacking quality as well, haven't they, Naby? I mean, Adam Armstrong, the 3rd top scorer in the championship this year. Harvey Elliott on the right wing as well. They've got a lot of attacking talent and like to play as well, don't they, with the ball?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, that's a really good team. I think they got some really good weapon up front that we have to be careful. That was like this the first game. I think the first leg we managed them well. We managed them to stop them well. So yeah, that means we are capable of. They are really good players, but I think we have good players in our side too. So we just have to trust in ourselves and do the right thing on the pitch.
Yeah, just before you go, Naby, because I know you've got a meeting fairly soon. You mentioned before at the start, or we spoke earlier on about the Blackburn game earlier this year. How does that stack up in your memory or your Huddersfield Town career so far as a highlight?
Yeah, of course. I think that was the best night as a Huddersfield Town player that I had in here. Of course, not just only scoring 2 goals, but the time that I scored the second one, the way that I scored it, and to give the victory was unbelievable. And I think it's gonna be the best feeling I have in a Huddersfield shirt for a moment now.
Yeah, I bet your dad was proud as well. He was a striker, wasn't he, in his day?
Yeah, he was a striker, and he was really happy. he knew I could do this, but I haven't been doing this a long time. So seeing me doing this, he was really happy about it.
Excellent. Naby, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck against Blackburn.
Thank you both. Thank you.
Stu, this game, how big of a match is this for Huddersfield Town in the context of the season? 3 games just left.
Well, as I say, I am fairly confident that come what may, Huddersfield will stay up. But you do want that security of 50 points. We all remember how big a deal it was, beating West Bromwich Albion and reaching that point last season. So you really want to get there. But also, I think, you mentioned how difficult the form has been since the turn of the year. You don't really want to limp into the next season. If they can end the season with a bit of momentum, and there's a possibility for that now with key players coming back to fitness. If they can end the season, just a little bit more strongly, it's only going to be 3 games, so we can't go overboard. But if they can end it with a bit of positivity, I think that'll be important going into next season.
Yeah, you touched upon it there. Key players coming back. Obviously, Carlos said that Harry Toffolo and Pippa are available as well. Josh Koroma obviously started against Barnsley. Carol Eiting came on for the last 15 minutes. I've probably been getting too excited about Carol Eiting in the office, but in the 15 minutes that we saw him against Barnsley, it made you think, didn't it? Wow, that's what Carol Eiting can really do, his movement off the ball, the way he picked some passes. He's got a real footballing brain, and probably someone we haven't seen at Huddersfield Town since probably Aaron Moy left, which is a big statement. Yeah,
that's very true. I mean, I compared him in quality the other week to the impact Emil Smith-Rowe had. Obviously, Smith-Rowe playing a bit further forward, but it's that sort of caliber of player, which is, I guess, kind of what you expect when you loan a player from Ajax or from Arsenal.
Yeah.
They've done what they said on the tin, which they've showed the sort of mental resolve to bring that ability to the hurly-burly of the Championship. And obviously with the way Town like to play as well, to have been without Eiting in particular, and his ability to put his foot on the ball and control things in midfield has made such a big difference. And I say, you reel off the players there, and it's the spine of a team really. It's not even just one department, to be without Koroma up front. They've had defensive injuries in the centre, and then obviously the problems with both the fullbacks. It's been a really difficult season for them, and I think if they can get through it, as I mentioned earlier, with more points than they got last season, then that at least is a sign of progress. But what they really need next season is just better luck on the injury front first and foremost, so that they can move forward, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of unfortunate injuries this time around. I won't keep you too long, Stu, but just finally, what do you think Huddersfield have to do in this game to get some points, to the valuable 3 points to hit that 50 mark in the Sky Bet Championship? What do we have to do to get those?
Well, I'm always more confident personally when Huddersfield are playing more footballing side, if I can put it like that. You know, they've had some real physical tests lately. Teams like Barnsley and Rotherham really do test you out in different ways, and that's not criticism of those teams. That's just the way they go about it. But you know, you do feel, particularly if they can get icing on the field for at least part of that game, and get the ball down and play, we might see, you know, a bit more of what we saw in the early part of the season. Because I think, as much as anything, it's about getting their confidence back on the ball. You know, although they worked really hard and they defended really well at times against Barnsley, there was a feeling at times that they were clinging on a bit, and you weren't so confident. Well, you weren't confident that they were going to pose much of a threat on the other side of it. If they can get more of the ball and get into that possession groove that we saw in the first half of the season, then I always think with this team that will serve them well. They can mix it up a bit more now since they've brought in Yaya Sanogo and others. But you really feel that the whole reason for bringing Carlos in, the whole reason for the change of direction this season was to play more of that football, and that at their best, with everyone fit, that is the best way for Huddersfield to go. So I'm hoping we see a bit of that.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully we can see that in the final 3 games of the season. Stu, thank you very much for joining us. Town fans, you can watch the game against Blackburn Rovers on iFollow HTAFC. You just have to buy a match pass for £10. Thank you for watching.